new live stream, December 13th, our pre-Christmas live stream special. Sticker Girl's got her lighted Christmas hat on. How's everybody doing out there? Hope you're having I'm in the holiday rush in the grocery business. They're buying marshmallow cream as fast as we can get it in. There must be a rumor there's not going to be any at Christmas Day. They're buying 6 jars at a time. All right, let's talk about some new arrivals. The red and blue. Got these in today. Got these yesterday.
Hey, click off the table.
Oh, sorry.
Already had this. The new 2023 remastered blue and red in the slipcase. Factory seal. If this was red and blue vinyl, it'd be worth $300, but this is the black vinyl. This is the 2014 analog, remastered from the analog tapes, the audiophile pressing from Germany, the red and the blue. If you can find these anywhere out there, grab a hold of them, but make sure you get the ones that say EU in the fine print on the back. They sound so much better than the USA pressings.
Which one's better, red or blue?
The red or blue? Blue sells the best because it's got Hey Jude and all the big hits on it. I like the red too. This is first press, 1973. Got them in today, both factory sealed on Apple Records. The very first edition. They were discounted in the stores at $6.38 at Sam Goody, and this one's discounted at $9.11 at Family Music. But how you know it's a 1973 pressing? Got to have the Apple on the top and say manufactured by Apple Records on the bottom. Factory sealed in perfect shape, 50 years old. I've had a UK pressing before from 73 that really sounded good. But I'm selling these sealed. I just put them up tonight on my STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store. And Adam, I do have my gloves. You don't have to cringe anymore. I got my white cotton archival gloves on. Got some Christmas releases in. This came in the original shipping box from 2017. It's been opened, but 5 of the 7 are still factory sealed. The Happy Christmas Beatles People, the official Beatles fan club Christmas records box set from 2017 that sold out pretty quick. They're all on colored vinyl. That's the first one. It's sealed. The second one's been opened up. Another Beatles Christmas record from 64. 65 has been opened up. Show you the color. It's on blue vinyl. And the 64 was on red vinyl. All the other ones are sealed. That's the 66, the 67, Happy Christmas 68, and the 69. With artwork by Zach Starkey on the back, Ringo's oldest son. And it's got the booklet. that came with it.
Beatles.
Merry Christmas from the Beatles. You had to belong to the fan club to get the originals. I got 2 originals here, I'll show you. Somebody have a question?
I said the Beatles are elves.
The Beatles are what?
Elves.
Elves. Oh. That's your comment.
She's just paying attention. She's supposed to.
This is 2 original fan club flexi discs from 68 and 69. There's no creases on the flexi discs. They're really fragile to last 55 years. And there's a 69. Other Christmas. Got the red vinyl of Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney. I used to not like this song when it first came out, but as the years go on, you learn to appreciate it. It's a heck of a Christmas song. There's a lot of covers of it too. And then the first Christmas song by a solo Beatles, John Lennon's Happy Christmas, War is Over. This is a limited green vinyl, record store day only on green vinyl. It's kind of looks different than the original green vinyl. I've had the original many times.
Where'd it go?
And Christmas, we have another original 1970 USA Beatles Fan Club Christmas album. The Beatles Christmas album. To know you got original, you have to see Ringo, you have to see his eyeballs in the small picture. Theatre Royal in fine print right there on the second picture. And it's got to have a small indentation on the record label to be original. Many counterfeits were made of this, and they have a large indentation on the record label. That's a real deal. It's got the Winchester rifle and the dead wax, and it says Bell Sound on both sides. That's up for sale on my eBay store, I think at $222.
Any questions or comments?
Hope we got a few people watching.
Well, we do, but nobody's commenting or questioning.
I think that's all my Christmas releases. Talk about the butcher cover one more time. This is the one I'm giving away on New Year's Eve. I decided instead of just having one trivia question, it's going to have 3 parts to deal with the butcher cover, so you just can't Google and figure it out real quick. So you better do your research about the butcher cover. And I got a real nice second state coming in a Scranton East Coast that I'm going to peel tomorrow, that I'm going to show on the next live stream on Saturday night. Hopefully it'll be in near mint condition.
What would you do if 2 people said it at the exact same time?
First person that pops up on the top of the screen.
Period.
First answer. That's the fairway, isn't it?
Yep.
Got one more Ringo, or one more Christmas release, 2017. Ringo Starr, I Wanna Be Santa Claus. He's got Come On Christmas, Christmas Come On, Winter Wonderland, I Wanna Be Santa Claus, The Little Drummer Boy, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Christmas Eve. The Christmas Dance, Christmas Time is here again. That's the Beatles version. Blue Christmas, the Elvis version. Dear Santa, White Christmas, and everybody's done White Christmas. And Packum Biscum, Peace Be With You. Haven't listened to that yet, but I'm going to have to put it on. Alright, let's show some more new arrivals. sold most of my Beatles and Mama box set I showed on my video. I still have the book left for sale. It's in perfect condition that came out of that box. A real nice book. There's a great picture of Sgt Pepper there I just saw. An outtake from the inside of the gatefold. You don't hardly see Paul's patch OPP on there on his shoulder. George kind of disinterested in the picture there. Says, why did I have to hang around for this all this time? He was getting bored with the Beatles.
Would have been bored too.
Haven't shown a couple of these. This is the 50th anniversary, the 2 LP set that is out of stock everywhere. And it has outtakes on the second album of all the Sgt. Pepper tracks. I got my Sgt. Pepper shirt on. George Borden had a 24-hour live stream the other day. I got on it in the middle of the night for like 30 minutes. And I brought up that I sold that Nimbus Supercut for $7,000 because they were talking about high-priced albums like Nirvana Bleach on the Wall that was $3,000. They started talking about it a little bit, saying, how could I have that and never open it up? Well, if I opened it up, it would have never brought $7,000. Chad Cassim had it sealed for 25 years, and I had it sealed for a few months.
Dang.
The guy in California, he's probably opened it up by now, I would think. So that's my anniversary 2 LP set, perfect condition. And this came from the Tennessee Beatles estate that me and my son drove about 12 hours back and forth to get a hold of all these Beatle items. This is a program if you want to see the Beatles Love at the Mirage in Las Vegas. And this is the booklet with pictures of everything in the that happens there. I went to it once there at the Mirage. It was pretty spectacular. The sound was coming through speakers right through your chair. Couple pamphlets advertising it, and even the room key when you got a room at the Mirage for the Beatles Love. I think it's still playing out there in Las Vegas, but it's got stiff competition from U2 at the Spear and Fish and all the other things that are going on out in Las Vegas. Elvis has been put on hold, and the other groups are taking over out there. I guess you can still see Elvis impersonators on the old part of Las Vegas. All right, let's put that away.
You excited for your birthday?
You what?
You excited for your birthday?
70th birthday. I'm excited, but like I had a little messages back and forth on eBay today, and I said, you gotta give me a break. I'll be 70 in a couple weeks. I'm just passing on my knowledge the best I can. I used to be a series collector for 30 years, but now I'm decided it's time to pass on all the knowledge I know, why I'm still able to do it. You know, I sold my Beatles record player last week, the original from '64. For $5,500, but this is this is the same '64 symphonic, but somebody 40 years ago or something made it look like a Beatles record player. They took a copy of the photo that was in the original record player, and they must have made a copy of this right here. But I got it restored also. Be putting it up for sale on my STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store tomorrow. And it works. It didn't take as much repair as the original Beatles record player. They had to use the guts out of another symphonic record player and completely rebuild it. So it costs quite a lot to get rebuilt. This one, I think, cost $75 to get restored. The other one was about 10 times that much.
75K?
No, $750.
Oh, you said 10.
10 times.
Put the math skills up.
I don't have a complete BC13. This is a real nice empty box. Every time I get in a 1978 to an 81 BC13, they don't last long. They're usually gone in a week's time. I think I've sold, when you say I've sold 20 of those in the last 120 days. Everybody wants a nice, good condition BC13 from the United Kingdom or from Holland or Australia or from Germany. This is the Beatles singles collection. I got one coming in the mail that's going to be complete, but this is a empty box. It's in beautiful shape. If the box I get in isn't as good a shape as this, I'll probably switch it out and put the singles in here. I've sold this twice, factory sealed from 1981 for $400 twice. Let's see, we got this in today. A factory sealed emotional rescue from the Rolling Stones. It's got the poster wrapped around inside the shrink. And what makes this unique, it has the rare hype sticker for She's So Cold and Emotional Rescue on it. Not too many of these had that hype sticker on it. You know, that's how I got my name, Mr. STICKERMANIA, from searching out hype stickers.
After the Beatles, what's your second favorite?
What's my second favorite group after the Beatles?
Yep.
Would have to be the Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones.
As I'm not as versed in the Led Zeppelin. I like the Led Zeppelin 1 and Led Zeppelin 2, 3 I like, and 4, and Physical Graffiti, but I'm not, haven't caught up on all the other releases Into the Outdoor and Coda. And I do like How's the Holy too, so that's 6 out of 8. That's pretty good. This is the Rolling Stones. I got this in. Has the original photo that's textured. They made it this glossy slick that was put in the first Rolling Stones album for 6 years after it was released. But this, only way you know you got an original 64 from the United States, it has to be textured. And the cover has to be textured. And both of these pass the test. The first album from one of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time. And they're still going strong. This record, I don't think it's the FFR, it's just the maroon London mono pressing. But it's in excellent shape. I saw the Kinks several times. I like the Kinks. I never saw the Pixies, but I like their albums, one from the 90s. What about other 60s groups? I saw the Animals reunion. I've seen some of the other 60s groups. So that's the Rolling Stones' first album. This is another one from the Tennessee estate that I haven't put up yet. Mike McGear, Paul McCartney's younger brother. And I always like this album a lot because it's got all the Wings. Paul, Linda, Jimmy McCullough, Denny Lane. They're all front and forward on this album. A lot of the cuts just sound like Paul McCartney songs. Mike McGear. I saw him once at a fest for Beatle fans, and I got an autograph on a Mike McGear 8-track tape
Oh,
in Chicago.
that's cool.
But he was Mike McCartney until he became an artist, and he just decided to change his name to McGear because he didn't want to ride off the coattails of his brother. His older brother, Macca. That was right behind it. Ringo's Stop and Smell the Roses. It's got a Paul McCartney track on it and a George Harrison track. Harry Nilsson produced the song also.
Are we gonna show that?
What's they ask? We got some questions. Haven't shown this. Talk about George Harrison for a second. Got this factory sealed somewhere in England with the hype sticker for all those years ago. I'm pretty sure this was from 1981. The track they redid that Paul and Linda and Ringo all joined in, helped George do his tribute to John Lennon. John and George, I don't think, talked hardly at all together the last 5 years of John's life. But George gave him this great tribute song all those years ago on Dark Horse Records. This real nice ding-dong picture sleeve, tough picture sleeve to find with no wear at all.
Who was the first one?
1974. I got a picture disc for Faster when George was really into the Formula One racing. He went to and watched almost all the races, and he was buddies with the Jackie Stewart, and I think that was his big buddy. They hung out a lot. Faster. What year would that have been from? Doesn't say. No questions?
Nope, not yet.
All right, we better keep moving along then. Found this in a box today when I was shipping my record player out, and didn't even realize that somebody must have gave it to me as an extra when I bought something. The Beatles Baby It's You, a visual record. Must have been made in England. And it's got the CD single Baby It's You on there with some unreleased BBC tracks, live tracks. I'll Follow the Sun, Devil in Your Heart, and Boys. Great picture of the Beatles with BBC, and there's a poster for it right there behind Sticker Girl.
Daniel Castillo asked, Do you remember watching Rock and Roll History on PBS?
Yes, Rock and Roll History on PBS, the 9 different hours. Yes, I've had it on DVD several times. I also remember there's a great live tracks of Chuck Berry, not much on the Beatles, a lot of Led Zeppelin, Nirvana, but that's where I really saw, the first time I saw all those live early videos of Chuck Berry live in concert, and really appreciated how great he was. Never saw Chuck Berry in concert.
Why?
I guess I never had a chance, or I missed it. There's great pictures of the Beatles at the BBC in this booklet. Real nice booklet. The Beatles hanging out with some of their female fans. George surrounded, Paul's back behind him. Good photo.
Daniel Castillo also asked, he said, there no official release on physical, question mark?
Yeah, on the Rock and Roll PBS. It's out on, it's on Time Life. There's a 9 DVD set of it. Usually goes for about $99. You can get a sealed one. So that's pretty nice. Made in England. Made in Great Britain. London, UK. So that was a bonus I found in one of my shipping boxes today. So thanks to whoever sent me that.
Me.
Probably shown these before, but show them one more time. Ringo, black, original inner sleeves, almost impossible to, from the early 70s, 50 years ago, to get in this excellent condition. There's a little bit of wear on the top there. It don't come easy. Trivia question, who really wrote the song It Don't Come Easy? Who's the first person to get it? The answer. And Back Off Boogaloo. This song was basically about telling Paul McCartney to back off a little bit. So that's some beautiful shape there. Back Off Boogaloo. I think that's from 1972. And this one's 1971. Nobody answered who wrote the song It Don't Come Easy for Ringo Starr? Because he wanted him to have a big hit.
Well, nobody answered, but Dayton's music room asked, what's your favorite Beatles song?
What's my favorite Beatles song? That's changes from day to day. Oh, up there at the top would have to be I Saw Her Standing There, and She Loves You from the early period. This new release, the 2023, I can't play Day Tripper enough. It rocks so much.
Daniel Castillo answered your question and said Buck Owens.
That is not correct.
Oh, well then. And
It's Act Naturally, Buck Owens. This is George Harrison wrote this song. So John Lennon and George were writing songs for Paul because they wanted Ringo to keep having hits, but then John Lennon made a comment. He was having so many big hits of all the solo Beatles, he says. He was getting a little jealous about it. And another song that George Harrison wrote completely for Ringo Starr was it Octopus's Garden? He wrote most of that for him. That's in the Get Back documentary.
Dayton's music room said two things. He said classics, and then he said Paul McCartney.
Classics?
Talk about the songs that you listed as your favorite songs.
Oh. Paul McCartney, my favorite song would have to be Maybe I'm Amazed from his first album. And I love the live version from 1976 of Wings Over America. Is that what he was asking?
I think so.
Yeah, I have a lot of favorite classics. You Really Got Me by the Kinks. I never get tired of that song. I think that pretty much invented heavy rock and roll. You Really Got Me never ceases to amaze me. Got some Paul McCartney 45s where we're talking about Paul McCartney that I haven't shown. This came from the Tennessee estate of a Beatles serious collector in Florida. And then his niece had to sell the collection. And she sold all the Beatles memorabilia for $40,000 in Nashville. And then all the records went to Crab Orchard, Tennessee. And I got over half of all the good stuff.
Dayton's music video said, my copy of Revolver on CD is the US version, and he also asked, what about a copy of the Love Me Do single?
What about a copy of the Love Me Do single? Have I had it? Yeah, I've had the original UK dash one in of Love Me Do. I sold for, I think, $244. I've never had the demo or the white label that has McCartney, his last name misspelled. That would be thousands of dollars in value. All right, I'm gonna go through these Paul McCartney. You got any questions? Bring them up. I got this UK No Other Baby. I got this Pipes of Peace from Danish. I got this Come On People. Looks like it's from the United Kingdom. Got this Japanese picture sleeve of Jet.
Wolfy Baby said, "Hi, Mr. STICKERMANIA. Guess I'm joining late." And then Dayton said, "I joined early."
Wolfy Baby, were you on the Borden live stream? Who were the two people that I saw? There was French Vinyl Addict was there. And there was another person that watches our live streams was on the Borden, live on the Borden live stream in the middle of the night. But French Vinyl Addict, he was on there so much that night that he made a comment before he went to work. He says, "Well, I gotta go to work. I got 1.5 hours of sleep." I didn't fall for that. I could have stayed up and watched it all night, but I'm gotta have my sleep. I'm almost 70 years old.
There's two things.
Yeah.
Dayton's music. Well, okay, now there's three. Daniel Castillo. But now there's four.
Oh wow, we're getting the question now.
Daniel Castillo said, "Better late than never, but never late is better." And Dayton's music room said, "What's the worst Beatles song?" And then he also said, "This is my first live stream of yours I'm watching."
All right, what's his name?
Dayton's music room.
Dan's music room?
Daytons.
Dayton's.
Up why up in Dayton.
Dayton's music room. Welcome to our live stream. Are you from Dayton, Ohio? I've been there plenty of times.
He wants to know what's the worst Beatles song, but before.
What's the worst Beatles song? Let's go into that. Worst Beatles song. I like Mr. Moonlight. A lot of people don't. Worst Beatles song. Well, that's a tough one. It would be something off of Let It Be, I guess. I'm not a big fan outside of the Get Back and Love, Long and Winding Road and Let It Be. I'm not a big fan of all the tracks on Let It Be.
Wolfy Baby said, "Got my record safe and sound." And then
He said thanks. So.
Wolfy Baby, yeah, I sent some Beatle import greatest hits albums to him.
Dayton's music room said, "Matthew is my real name. I'm from Michigan. There's Little Child."
Little Child?
Yeah.
That's his least favorite song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Child, yeah. That's not one of the
That's a
best.
terrible song.
John Lennon wrote that. Oh, we got a Pipes So Bad. Looks like a USA copy. We got a Stranglehold. Looks like it's on a colored vinyl. No. It's got the jukebox strips. Must be from the United States. Got a strange import here of Little Woman Love. This collector searched out Beatle or Paul McCartney's picture sleeves from all over the world. Got a Hope of Deliverance from United Kingdom. Listen to What the Man Said from the USA. Made in this was recorded about 2 hours south of me in Nashville, Tennessee. That's where our grocery warehouse that supplies my grocery store I work at is in Nashville, Tennessee. Got a Japan of 1985 with Paul and Linda on the cover. It's a great promo shot with Paul and Linda. This is a strange one, Live and Let Die from Japan. Looks like a James Bond picture sleeve.
Dayton's music room said, "A terrible song. I've learned about the butcher cover because of Parallogram's video on yesterday and today."
Yeah, well, he did do one video on the butcher cover, but I've done many on the butcher cover. I think I know a little more, even though Andrew is an expert. I'm here in the United States, and I've been studying and peeling and researching the butcher cover for 40 years. I don't think he's done that.
Yeah, you've got some past videos they need to check out on the butcher cover.
Yeah, I probably have 15 butcher cover videos. You should check out my old butcher covers. I go into depth about the butcher cover. A lot more than Andrew from Polygram Auctions did. Walking in the Park with Eloise. That's a tough picture sleeve. That's Paul McCartney's tribute to his father. He called it the Country Hams, but it was really Paul McCartney and Wings doing as the Country Hams, doing Walking in the Park with Eloise.
Daniel Castillo said, Barlogram knows more about Squarespace and...
He advertises Squarespace about a third of his video.
I didn't have the joke because he's talking about advertising,
Yeah.
so that's what
It's all about the money with him now.
you gotta let each joke go for now. You can do the next question.
Yeah, that's a good joke.
Dayton's Music Room said, I think both covers of Yesterday and Today are a work of art. And then he said, R.I.P. Denny Lane.
R.I.P. Denny Lane. We got the All Lane from 1973. And no Paul McCartney on this one. Paul McCartney's all over these other ones. Wings of Wildlife. The first time Denny Lane was in Wings. Denny Lane with Paul McCartney, In Flight. And I know I got a holidays. Paul and Linda and Denny went to Paul's Rude Studios in Scotland and did this album. But Paul let Denny Lane have a solo album on it, but they were covers of all the Buddy Holly's, or their favorite Buddy Holly songs. R.I.P. Denny Lane, go now.
And then the other part of the question about both covers. You like both covers, the Yesterday and Today?
Yesterday and Today, the trunk cover, I gave one to Buddy, my trunk cover. I don't have one right at the moment. They're smiling on this cover, and on the trunk cover, they're not smiling. So this is my favorite version of the butcher cover. They were into this, Paul and John, and even Ringo. George wasn't that much, but if you look at, they're all frowning on the trunk cover. It's a nice photo. It was done in Brian Epstein's office, but Bruce Spicer came up with the research that the trunk cover was done before the butcher cover, but once they saw the slicks, the negatives of the butcher cover, it was supposed to just be a little part of an album cover released in the United States, and they John Lennon Push said, no, I want that as the whole cover of the butcher cover. I want it to come out. And Brian Epstein didn't like the idea, but John Lennon had his way. I'm sure Paul McCartney was pushing for it too, but they made 750,000 butcher covers and destroyed almost 700,000 of them. And then they covered up 50,000 of them real quick just to save on overtime pay that weekend. At the Capitol Scranton, Pennsylvania plant and the Los Angeles plant.
Dayton's music video said gross cover, LMAO.
The what?
And
Yeah. He said gross cover. He didn't like that.
You didn't like the butcher cover?
He just said gross cover.
Oh. I guess it's gross, but
is that the only one?
they wanted something.
I love it.
They wanted something really different from their usual photos, and that's the one John decided was the most different of any photo they'd ever done.
Can you do a few?
Alright, Dayton's Music Room. On introducing the Beatles, I saw her standing there. The count in has 4 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 on the U.S. version of Introducing the Beatles. There's only 1, 2, but on the U.K., the German version, the Beatles and everything, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. But what's he saying?
He's saying it only has 4. So one of them that he's listened to only, it says on the Introducing the Beatles, I saw her standing there, the count.
The countdown cuts off at 1, 2 on the U.S. version.
No, that's what it's saying. It says 4.
It does 1, 2, 3, 4 on the original UK version of Please Please Me.
Oh no, he's saying it just says 4.
And even on the 2023 remastered, it has 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah. And then the other Daniel Castillo says, do you have any pressings of In Spite of All the Danger?
I do not have a pressing in spite of all the danger. I think they made so many, I don't know if it was 20 or 30 to give out. Paul did. Paul has the original worth millions of dollars, and then even the one that he only made 20 or 30 for his friends would have to be worth $10,000 a piece. But Paul has the original. He got it from one of the quarrymen that had it in his attic for 55 years. It's priceless.
Dayton's music video asked, do you have Yesterday and Today on cassette?
Yesterday and Today on cassette. I've had it before. The first pressing was a little insert, but I sold them. I've had the Yesterday and Today 8-track tape that had a alternative trunk cover slick that had a purple surrounding. They did a lot of different photos, mock-ups, and they went with the white trunk cover. But there were a lot of different mock-ups, and one of them ended up on the original 8-track tape. All right, finish this up real quick, then we'll get some more questions. We got this rare picture sleeve of this one from the United Kingdom. We got some Russian, these are Sweden. We got Eat at Home and Smile Away. Smile Away is one of my favorite Paul McCartney album tracks. We got some more Sweden. We got Another Day. This might not be Sweden. It looks like it's France. We got Another Day. We got Smile Away from France. We got My Love. That's rare to get a picture sleeve of My Love.
Hey.
This is a France of Junior's Farm with Sally G. Junior's Farm was recorded at a farm in Nashville, Tennessee.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Let me finish this up. I'm almost done. I gotta put these away. Getting Closer. That's a rare picture sleeve with a little lobster there. Getting Closer. This is like a die cut picture sleeve that's rare. Spin It On. Party Party. Looks like from the United Kingdom. Tropic Island Home. And We All Stand Together. It's on colored yellow vinyl. And Jenny Wren. This is sealed from the United Kingdom. Those are some of my Paul McCartney ones I haven't shown that came from the Tennessee estate.
Okay, now can I ask my
Yes,
question?
I'm ready for questions.
Okay. Dayton's Music Room asked, do you have Rock and Roll Music on vinyl, the album by the Beatles?
Yes, I have it's in my storage unit. And I have a sealed one, Rock and Roll Music with a hype sticker. I don't have one here, but it's up on my eBay store. STICKERMANIA 2853. Check it out. I got over 400 listings. I have 1,000 followers on eBay. I had this guy message me today that he went back and forth and back and forth. He's wanting a bundle deal of a lot of my best items. He wanted my Flip Your Wig game. He wanted my Perfect Life magazine, newsstand issue. But he doesn't want to pay for the value of what these are worth. Almost impossible to get these in this kind of shape. Or the Flip Your Wig game. I haven't shown that bakery thing, if you can get that bakery thing on the floor. That's Flip Your Wig game with no corner splits. Perry Cox sold one for $250 a couple of weeks ago.
What are you talking about?
That little paper.
I got it.
Sorry, I didn't see it.
Got this in, Perry Cox. Alright, must have came out of the thing. Where'd it go?
I got him on the floor looking.
It's a strange little thing I haven't shown yet. This was put on bakery cakes in 1964. And it's in
Scoot back a little bit. It's a little too close to focus in. There we go.
near mint condition. Got it up for $299. I've had this before, but I've never had it in this near mint condition. Almost impossible to find these almost 60 years after the fact in that kind of condition. Put on a bakery cake in your bakery department in your grocery store in 1964.
Is that Paul?
Yeah. I haven't shown that. No, I didn't show that. Let's put the Flip Your Wig game back.
This is Paul?
You can find these things, but they're never in this condition. I've only had 3 of them in my lifetime that have been in this great a condition. Got the 48 yellow and red playing cards, no creases. The game pieces don't have any creases on them. He says, well, I can buy this cheaper somewhere else. I said, well, it's not going to be in this kind of shape. Good luck. It's not like I haven't been buying and selling for 17 years. I have a good eye for condition.
Bring the best of the best.
Yep. I had one guy in Florida says I have one of the best set of eyes on condition. And they got the brochure for all the other Milton Bradley games that came out in 1964. And all these other games are worth $10 to $15, where this one's worth 20 times that. Any other questions? I can show you some of my heavy hitters for some of my new people that I got in here today.
You want the autographs over here?
I don't want to do that.
Oh, then you can hand me that.
Show this last one, my unused ticket from October 27, 1963. Sign on the front, John Lennon, Paul McCartney. Unused ticket. They did 3 shows that night. This was the 9 o'clock show. They did 9 songs each show. I Saw Her Standing There was the first song. And Ringo Starr signed both sides of the ticket. And George Harrison's on the top. With a COA from Roger Epperson that works for, he has real autographs, but he also works for PSA DNA that does the authentication on Pawn Stars. This is the PSA DNA signed by Roger Epperson for the 1963 set of Beatle autographs in the frame. And John Lennon even wrote, "To Frank, best wishes, John Lennon." Perry Cox, I sent him a picture of this. He said, "That's pretty cool, Frank, that you got a John Lennon autograph inscribed to yourself." I just made bid on in the Great Indie Rock and Roll Auction, and I made a maximum bid, and I ended up winning it. Those are the 2 big items from the Great Rock and Roll Auction in Indianapolis a few weeks ago, and we drove down there all day to get it. We had to transfer money at a bank because it was over $5,000. They would not take a check or credit card. You had to wire the money instantly for them to release those autographs. Everything was like in a bank vault. You had to go through 3 doors to get into the bank in downtown Indianapolis. You only go a couple people in the lobby at a time, and then when I went to pick up the stuff, they had it locked up in a bank vault.
There's 2 questions. Daniel Castillo asked, why did you wait till the 70s to become a Beatles fan?
Why did I wait till the 70s? In the 60s, I was growing up, and I was 10 when the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan. I was 14 when the White Album came out. And I remember those 2 events and Beatle cartoons, but I guess I didn't really get a break from growing up until I graduated from high school. And then me and my buddies, we had 4 of us living in an apartment together. And we used to play this routine on the weekends where we'd each pull out a Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, or Beatles album and see if we could pull a track that would outdo what the person did before. And it was a pretty interesting game. And that's when I really realized how great the Beatles were, and the Rolling Stones, and I was just getting into Led Zeppelin at the time, but it was mostly the Beatles versus the Stones. 1972 is when we did that, and that's when I started going out and buying collections, when Beatle fans were getting rid of everything, and it was old news to be a Beatles fan. Beatles memorabilia was, oh, I got to get rid of this stuff. I used to buy whole collections. I bought my first Butcher cover that I peeled, and had a hard time on the first one. And I remember I have a picture of it showing in 1976 of me holding on to it.
Do you have the Beatles ice cream box?
Ice cream box. I have the.
Someone else asked. Can I tell you who asked?
I got the package. You guys want to see the ice cream package? The box is harder to get. The package was made by the Millions. I got it in the other room, but the box is worth money. It's in. Well, it's in that. There's a big box in my curio where I keep my stuff. There's a big yellow photograph box that I have all that stuff in. It's a big thick box in the middle drawer, middle glass door. All right.
We got 8 minutes left.
We got these. Somebody sold 10 sealed Beatle albums the other day on the internet. That shows you sometimes where people don't know the value of stuff when they just sell a bunch of Beatle albums. I know I'm missing the Magical Mystery Tour. I might have put it in the other room. Here it is. And then I got 4.
Where?
Look out to your. Go open the door. It's right there on the left. There's 4 sealed Beatle albums. Should be right there. Right there to your left. Abbey Road. There's 4 of them right there. All right, we'll finish it off showing some of this stuff. I got some other questions about things. So here was you got 3 more?
Oh, grab all?
Yeah. No, Beatles, right there. One more, White Album. My granddaughter doesn't know everything about the Beatles yet. She's still learning. So as they put up this on the internet for $250 for all 10 sealed Beatle albums. And I could see if they were all the 2009 remastered. That's what these 4 are here. But these 2 are the 2014 analog, and these 4 are the 2014 mono that have exploded in value. So I got these for $27 a piece. Boy, I bought that in a second before somebody else grabbed it. That's a pretty good buy.
This is cute.
Revolver, White Album. These are the remastered 2009. Let It Be, Abbey Road. But that has nothing of the value as these other 6 do. All right, that was an amazing buy from just last week. That shows you it can happen at any time. You just got to be on the internet at the right time. All right, ice cream package.
I didn't see it. I could have missed it.
Let's see, we got those were put on clothes in the 60s.
The other way. Yeah, like that. Even though it's
Authentic mod, the red and the blue. Gotta listen to the sticker. John Lennon from Walls and Bridges. Got the 4 Beatles birth certificates that were made in England by the General Register. It's got a copy of their birth certificate inside. These are all up on sale on my eBay store. Tough to open with my white cotton gloves on. Archival. There's the birth certificate. There is the ice cream wrapper. Don't have the ice cream box, but it's a perfect. Made by Hood. Crunch coated ice cream bar. 1964. There was a warehouse find where they found a whole box full of these. Some postcards. Jumbo postcards from 1964. And all other kinds of goodies in there.
Can I be excused?
Why?
We're almost done here.
Almost done.
I need to fix my eyelash.
Got some John Lennon photos, some Club Sandwiches issues from Wings. You had to be a member of the Wings Fun Club, and you got the Christmas mix. There's Denny Lane.
Is it messed up?
Only got a few minutes ago.
You're fine.
And Linda wins. First prize at Cannes Film Festival. And you got some other badges that were in there, all original promo badges. John Lennon, rock and roll. You should have been there. Listen to this button. Listen to this badge. Beatles love songs, a pin back. Ringo's Rotograve. I never can say that right. Rotogravier with this big eyeball. Ringo the Fourth. I've sold most of these, but Beatles City in Liverpool. And that's most of the highlights in there. Any other questions before we end this? Thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate all the questions.
And we're going to have some big things coming up for Saturday. The backlog, the Christmas season has caused a backlog in the shipping when you get your packages, but I should get a lot here in the next 3 days. All right, I think that's it from Louisville, Kentucky this time. Thanks for all tuning in, and check me out Saturday, 11 p.m. That'd be December 17th, Saturday.
I think. Have a good Christmas.
16.
16th.
14, 15, yeah, 16.
No, December 16th, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out our next live stream. Thanks from Mr. STICKERMANIA, Sticker Girl with her lighted Christmas hat on. See ya on Saturday night. Thanks.
Saturday.